Peace, y'all. It's Danielle from Let's Talk Food, and today we are talking about Jamaica's national dish, ackee, but no saltfish. This has mushrooms, seaweed, tomatoes, onions, garlic, etc., etc. Look at this beauty here. This is literally the meal that I grew up eating, and today's episode is going to be extra special because we are going to be featuring the Queen Mother, my Queen Mother, the one who I learned it all from. Yes, hi. And Cairo. And Cairo, because he just be in the mix of everything. See, look at him sniffing. Yes. This is not your food. Yo, he had one bite of human food as a baby, and from that day, refuses kibble every time. Continue watching so you too can learn how to make this the traditional way, but with a plant-based twist.
So pretty much we have our ingredients here to prepare our dough for our dumplings. I pretty much like to use a glove just because I have, you know, nails, painted nails, and just for sanitary reasons. So we have our 2 cups of flour, half a cup of water, and a 1/4 cup of nut milk. This is almond milk actually, but you can use whatever milk you choose. And depending on the type of flavor you want, if you want a more nutty flavor, then you can use, you know, half a cup of milk, 1/4 cup of water, and we have our pink Himalayan salt that we're gonna add. And we have 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So start off with adding the dry ingredients, which is our flour, our baking powder, and salt, and you could, you know, use as much as you want to taste. I just use a bit and mix that in. And this is actually spelt flour that we're using for this. And it's better to add water, you know, just don't add everything all at once. Just add as you go, just so that you don't pretty much spoil the dough and make it too soft. You want a firm consistency dough. And it looks like we're probably gonna need a little bit more, maybe some more water. You add as much as you need. Okay. And I usually try to, you know, make my dough first and have it set for probably, you know, an hour, like in the mornings. Usually this is a tradition sometimes we do on Saturdays. So I get up and, you know, make my dough and have it set. Probably just maybe a 1/4 cup of water. Because you don't want it to be too dry. You want it to have a nice, firm, you know, full. That's enough for now. Let me see how it is. You want it to be firm and cohesive. And sometimes you know, like we Jamaicans do, we tend to just throw whatever without even measuring. And you just add, if it becomes a bit too soft, you just add a little bit more of your flour. Just to get it to that consistency that you need it to be.
How's it looking?
Yes, it's good so far. So once I put this to set, you know, it'll come out nice and supple later on when we're ready to do our frying. And pretty much that's it. Or you can, you know, some people have those, the machine that you can make dough in. That really kind of simplifies it. Just add your ingredients and you get your dough and you're good to go. But this is the old-fashioned traditional way of doing it.
I personally love the old-fashioned way better.
Yeah, get the
elbow grease is a very important ingredient.
Yes.
Please
put that elbow
understand,
in there.
Very important ingredient.
Get the elbow in.
Yes.
You know, it's just, yeah.
All that love. A machine wouldn't be able to put in this much love ever.
Yeah, but you see, you got it nice and it's moist enough. And once we let it set, it should come out really nice and supple and firm for us to do our frying. And you can cover it with a cloth, you can cover it with a, you know, whatever, a bowl, whatever suits you. And that's it for our dough. We're just gonna add 1 teaspoon of white vinegar in our mushroom, kind of to give it that cured feel and taste. You don't want to overpower it or change the taste of the flavoring.
Yummy!
Mm-hmm.
Usually,
so this mimics or it replaces our saltfish in our traditional Ackee and saltfish dish.
Ackee and noSaltfish.
Right.
Ackee and mushrooms and seaweed. The mushrooms, I love the texture of the mushrooms with the Ackee.
Yes. It actually does give it, you know, it mimics the saltfish kind of feel. And there we go. We have our 3 cups of mushrooms.
In addition to the mushrooms, we are also adding these 4 mini sheets of nori, seaweed. And we're just gonna break these sheets apart. This is also going to add that fishy flavor, that sea kind of flavor that the fish kind of brings with the Ackee and saltfish. So, you know, since we're using all plants, we're gonna make use of the greens of the sea, super high in iodine and vitamins and minerals that we actually need, not only to survive, but to thrive, honey. This is our version of Ackee and saltfish. So we are going to fold this in at the end with the Ackee. Yes, sarnori. We have a half of a bell pepper on the recipe, and you can choose what color you want. So we have a quarter of green and a quarter of orange because we want our Ackee to be super colorful. And we purposely chose not to use red because we already have tomatoes in there, and so the tomatoes are gonna bring that beautiful red color. So we have the orange and the green. Your nails are pretty, mommy.
Thank you.
What? They like cotton candy.
Yeah, it's actually for the spring season. Just welcoming the different spring colors.
Yes. Fresh energy.
Yes.
We love the pastels.
Yes, the pastels. You're right about that. Yes. Okay, so we have our peppers set.
They look beautiful, mommy. Go ahead with your knife cuts.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
I'm not a big chef.
Man. Listen. This is who I learned from. There's some things that I just feel like are impossible to learn in culinary school. at least in the life that I have lived thus far, in going to culinary school, there were certain things that I just simply did not learn, and I learned from my mother.
Okay.
From watching how you move in the kitchen and really observing the kitchen intuition, how it taps in, where you're like, you know what, I think this just needs a little sprinkle of this.
Yep.
Because some recipes will tell you certain things, but they don't tell you everything all the time.
It's true. And you know, we don't go by recipes sometimes, especially once you become more proficient, or you've been doing it for such a long time, you just pretty much kind of like just guess, or it just comes naturally. You don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just happens.
Yes,
so.
and I feel like that right there, just observing you and grandma in the kitchen, that right there, that's what kind of showed me what cooking is all about. It's like this natural mystic that, you know, is unfolding as you chop up all the vegetables and you add them to the pot. You're feeling your way through it.
Yeah.
You may have an idea of how much you want to add, but sometimes you want to add a sprinkle less or a sprinkle more.
Mm-hmm. You know, when I cook, sometimes I probably don't go by the same recipe all the time.
Right, everything
depends. You know, sometimes you're in a different mood when you're cooking. Whatever it is, if you're rushing, you know, trying to get dinner ready fast, the kids are coming home from school, you gotta get it done. You're in a different frame of mind. You're, you know, multitasking, thinking about 50 different things at the same time.
But I think one thing that you have shown me and just watching you growing up was that the kitchen, even in the times where you're rushing home from work and the times where, you know, you're just trying to get dinner ready, you still carry this neutral energy in this space, and the energy is always positive. Even if it's like me and my sister, like, mommy, I'm hungry, you still in there with the positive, you know, with just positive energy, making sure that you're pouring that in the dish. And I don't know, I mean, well, I do know that definitely is something that I carry.
Makes a difference. Makes a big difference.
All of these ingredients are going to be sauteed at the same time, in addition to the onion and the thyme. Ooh. We have our beautiful yellow onion here, medium or large. We're going to do a whole onion.
Because we love the onions, right?
We love the onions. Now, if you want to do a half onion, you know, your ackee will still, you know, be amazing. But if you like onion the way we do a whole one. Bless your soul.
Yep, exactly.
What are you grateful for today, man?
I'm grateful to be alive. The sun is shining. That's one thing. I'm able to stand here, you know, with my daughter doing this. I love it. Yes, so that's my gratitude. And look at that, she has her friend here doing the behind the scenes.
Shout out to Bria. Today I am grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for my dad. I'm grateful for my sister. I'm grateful for the fact that all of our health is intact.
Yes. We
have impeccable health.
Especially these days.
Yes.
You know.
Grateful for impeccable health, for sure. I'm grateful for the good choices that we make in the kitchen every day.
Yes. I'm getting that.
The teary-eyed.
Yes, the teary-eyed.
I'm just so grateful.
Okay, so our onion is done.
So grateful.
We're all set there.
So
all the ingredients are chopped.
These onions look wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. We have my thyme here. So here, it's gonna be the first set of ingredients that get sauteed. And then we have our already boiled water. This is for canned ackee. If you're gonna be using canned ackee, these are your directions. You have your already boiled water here. You're going to add your 2 cups of ackee from the can. You can just drain it and then add it to the water. This is really just to cleanse it just a little bit. And then we're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna strain it again, and that will be one of the last ingredients we add to the pot of our ackee and noSaltfish. So we're gonna let this sit, and we're gonna get to the stove and start sauteing our veggies. Okay, so I have my stove on between medium to high heat. Just turn it up just a little bit. I like the heat. Okay. Then we have our 1 tablespoon of grapeseed or avocado oil. Gonna let that heat up just a little bit here. And once your oil is hot, that's when you want to add in your seasoning, your veggies. So you're gonna add in your onion, your garlic, your scallion, your thyme. You're gonna add in all of our ingredients, our bell peppers, and also our mushrooms. So all of these ingredients will be added to our saucepan with our 1 tablespoon of oil. Cherry tomatoes in there. Feel me? Everything. Make it go on saute like so. And we're gonna let it cook for about 7 to 10 minutes, or until your mushrooms have shrunken in size just a bit, and you see your onions starting to caramelize and change in color, and your tomatoes will start to melt just a little bit as well. I'm gonna just let that saute, make it one cook. And while those veggies are cooking, we can now strain our ackee that has been sitting in that hot water. So we're pouring our ackee. You want to make sure it doesn't get too crushed, because you want to keep the actual shape of the ackee like that. We want to make sure we clean up our mess, because cleanliness is next to godliness. Yes, yes. Ooh, mushroom, where did you think you was going, honey? Yes. Oh, yes. Extra love. My mama's hands is in this. You already know it's about to hit different. Yo, ackee is literally, I can confidently say, I don't want to say it's my favorite food ever, but it's most definitely top 5 in the whole world. And y'all know the world is a big place. Intuitively, like with the color, seeing the color of the ackee, this connects directly to your solar plexus chakra. Your solar plexus chakra is the energetic center in your energetic body that is located right here, below your heart and above your sacral, so right here, which basically houses your self-confidence, self-esteem, your will, all of that. So this type of food will strengthen that energy. So every bite of your ackee that you ingest, speak an affirmation like, I am confident in myself. I exude self-confidence. My self-esteem levels are through the roof. Speak life over yourself when you're eating this food. Yes. But ackee is a fruit that grows on a tree in Jamaica. You see how these onions are starting to caramelize here, starting to get a bit translucent, getting just a bit brown as well. You can see our tomato melting just a little bit as well. The mushrooms are starting to shrink. Keeping it on that high heat, letting it do its thing. And also, while you are letting your veggies do what they do and get all beautiful, you can also chop up your sweet plantain to start frying as well. Start preparing your plantain. I just feel like this plate is not complete without plantain. Most plates in the whole world are not complete without plantain though. Sweet plantain just does a thing. It just completes a dish. Takes it to the next level. So we're just gonna cut up our sweet plantain as our veggies are getting all beautiful back there. They're almost ready to add in our ackee and our seaweed. And our scotch bonnet pepper and our pimento seeds and pink Himalayan salt. And I'm actually going to grill this plantain. Just like, yes. There we go. These onions are looking perfect. That's my indicator. The mushrooms have turned into a size that I absolutely adore. So now I am officially ready. I'm officially ready to add in our decadent, scrumptious, woo, doesn't it? Yes, Lord.
It smells so good. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yes. We have our ackee here that we've added. And then we have our half of our pepper that we're just gonna pop in there. We have our pieces of seaweed as well. We have our 6 pimento seeds in here that we're just going to hand crush. You're just gonna crush this. Speak love and light. Thank you, pimento seeds, for bringing all this flavor and this spice. We love you, we love you. Add it just like so. And then we're gonna add in some pink Himalayan salt to taste, like so. And you don't need a whole lot because we have the seaweed. And we're gonna turn down the stove to low. And we're actually just going to fold in the mushrooms, fold in the onions, fold in everything, all these beautiful ingredients, folding it all in. You don't have to be too rough. And at this point, you can also add in your tablespoon of coconut oil as well, just for more flavors. And our pepper's chilling, doing what it does. 1 tablespoon of coconut oil.
That is gonna be delicious.
Oh yes, once mommy says that, that's how you know we got the stamp of approval, honey. Plus her hands was in here, so some of the best ackee I've ever had in my whole life, and I've eaten a lot of ackee. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. And really the ackee doesn't need that much, you know, time in the pot. We're really just gonna do like 5 minutes here. And then we're just gonna set this aside, put a cover over it. Before you eat your ackee, you want to ensure that you extract the thyme while taking off the leaves. If it hasn't been fully cooked in there, you want to take off those thyme leaves. And then you'll extract your sprigs of thyme as well as extracting the pepper as well. Yes. Woo! Yes, absolutely. Yeah, she's looking complete. I'm about to put a cover over this pot, set it aside so we can start frying our plantain and frying our dumpling as well. So we are about to get into this. I've pretty much covered this pan with grapeseed oil, and I'm putting our beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous sweet plantain in here to fry. Y'all look beautiful already. Oh my gosh. I feel so blessed. Look at all this plantain. We're so abundant. Frying in our grapeseed oil. Be careful because the oil is hot. Y'all know I am risque in the kitchen. Very risque. Very risque. And you can just use a regular pan for your plantain. And after you fry your plantain, you can actually use the same pan to then fry your dumpling. So me, I'm just being a little extra because I want to use this pan and see if it'll really give me them grill marks the way it showed me on the box. So I can tell that they're ready to flip because they have browned on one side. So let's see what's up. Ooh, okay. Okay, Aisha Curry. Go ahead, sis. Yes. That one could have used a grill marker too. But it's okay. You definitely do not need grill marks on your plantain. Plantain is good whether it has grill marks, whether it don't matter, okay? Plantain is just elite food. God snapped when he made this fruit. I know God be making his own platters like like, hold on, I made this? This was me? Yes, God. Heard you.
He said, Mother Earth, we need to collab.
Yes.
We need to collab because this right here.
Yeah, nah, this is different. This is different. God eating the brunch platter like, oh, snap. We did that. You want your plantain to be dark like so. The darker, the better. Yes. Don't fear the little dark marks. This is how you know your sweet plantain is nice and sweet. Look at how much abundance just keeps, you know, flowing in just like this. The plantain is endless. This is only 2 right here, but we're blessed. And once they have been fried on both sides and they're looking brown and perfect, you can line a plate with some paper towel just like this, just like my mama showed me growing up, just like my grandmothers showed me growing up, just like this. That's all you need to do. Just go ahead and line that plate. Yes, y'all look beautiful. Thank you. You can be flipped. Thank you. And like I said, you can then fry your dumpling in this same oil. Yo, I love the way it looks with the grill marks. It's so pretty. Okay. Our plantain is ready. Look how beautiful. We could just set this aside now and get into our dumpling, start frying our dumpling. Yes. So we are adding a bit more oil. Mama says that this pan will actually work perfectly for her dumpling. So we're gonna let Mama do as she does. Look how beautiful already. Our dumpling has been setting for about an hour now, so she is certainly ready to start being formed into balls. Mommy's gonna do her work with that and show you exactly how it's done.
This is your mid-episode reminder to drink your water. Drink up.
Yes. Hydrate, hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate. Thank you, Mommy, for that reminder.
Good. Okay. So I'm just gonna, you know, make the little pinch off a few portions to make my little dumplings. And see, our dough was sitting for a while and it's nice and firm. Look, almost can stretch it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make them, form them all and have them sit on the cutting board so we can just place them in the heating oil, pretty much one right after the other, so that they'll fry evenly at the same time. This was, it took me so long, I guess lots of doing it, lots of different tries to get my dumplings to look nice and round.
So do you feel like the trick or like the secret step would be pressing your finger in the middle of it?
You know, that was just something that I learned from my grand aunt and like some of the older folks back home. Don't ask me what it does, but it does it. And that's how I do it.
Okay. You heard her. It's like certain things, like I said, that you literally cannot learn in culinary school. It's like certain tricks and tips in the kitchen are passed down through generations.
Yeah, like certain hacks you develop as you go along while you're cooking. You know, it's just trial and error. Trial and error. Yeah, we're getting a good amount, so. Yeah, this is a lot of servings right here.
Food for the family.
So now we're gonna fry our dumplings in our heated oil. Get these ready to go, because all this food is making me hungry and I'm ready to eat like yesterday.
Mommy, is it almost ready?
Yes, exactly. You're getting a bit of that now, right? Is that what you guys used to do to me? Okay.
Did that just bring you back?
Yes, absolutely. Giving you guys, you're giving me a taste of my own medicine.
Now you be doing it to me.
Yes. Is it done yet? I'm hungry. I have it on medium right now because I don't want it to, you know, start burning. I want them to just be nice and golden brown. So now that we have our dumplings pretty much golden brown, we can flip them. And they start doing on the other side.
Thank you. Looking beautiful. They look like some cinnamon donuts.
They really do. It's the spelt flour.
Yes. Usually it's made with white flour, but we're making our dumpling with spelt flour. We know spelt is an ancient grain. So when we are ingesting these ancient grains, we have the opportunity to tap into ancient wisdom, because these plants hold memory, they hold information. So we're tapping into that information as we take every bite of this meal.
Yes, this is going to be a really great brunch. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to take the first bite. And once these are done on the other side, we'll move them from the oil, and we have our breast in place here. For our dumplings, we're gonna serve it in this nice little
Ting ting.
Yes, somehow it just
little ting ting. Our serving ting ting.
They actually do look like cinnamon, like mini cinnamon.
They do.
Yes, they line up like soldiers.
spelt dumpling. Yes, Lord.
Yep.
Abundance surrounds us. Oh my gosh, my stomach is rumbling and doing the most. Oh my goodness, it's Ackee. Yes, give thanks for Mother Nature for providing all the ingredients today. No animals were harmed. This is Ackee noSaltfish. We have our mushroom in there. We have our seaweed in there. Oh Lord, yes, just like that. Abundance. We're gonna put our spelt dumpling in here. Yes, just like that. Looking like some cinnamon donuts, but we know that it's dumpling. It's just, oh gosh, wow. Y'all, you don't understand. This is what I grew up eating, and this just brings a certain level of nostalgia. We have our plantain here, avocado. I wouldn't dare forget it. Yes, we're just going to slice up some beautiful avocado here. Thank you, avocado, for being so perfect. Thank you so much. Yes. Gonna add our beautiful avocado here, like so. Maybe even add a bit more because we're abundant. We are abundantly blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Voila! You have Jamaica's national dish, Ackee noSaltfish. We have mushrooms in here. We have seaweed. We have our spelt dumpling. We have our plantain here, avocado. Yes, this is literally one of my favorite plates of food in the entire world, y'all. Oh my gosh, so nourishing. Always made with love, and it's all plants. Thank you to the creator for blessing us with all this food. Thank you to the hands that have put it together. Thank you to the farmers who have planted all the seeds for this food. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're so grateful to be able to dive in. Are you ready, Mommy?
Yes, I am. I have my fork ready. Sit, Kyle, sit, sit.
Thank
Good boy. Try this Ackee first. Oh wow, that you can taste the flavor of every single seasoning in here. It's so good. Kara, you want some dumpling? Yeah.
I personally love the taste of like whole wheat, like I love the taste of spelt. What Kyra was saying.
This is good.
This guy. Kibble who? Not in this house. Kyra, don't be greedy now.
This is excellent. Excellent.
Mommy says yes.
I endorse it.
This is different from the tradition, but I feel like part of tradition and carrying on, you know, these traditions, part of it evolving is being able to add your own twist to it.
And this is a twist, but it's excellent. Nice and flavorful. Yes.